All right, ladies and gentlemen, your main event of the evening is scheduled for one fall, and this match will be contested with no disqualifications. Oh, snap!
Main event time here on Revengeance, and it's only fitting that a year ago the culmination was formed, and this man attempts to destroy them step by step.
Making his way to the ring, weighing in at 232 pounds, he is the embodiment of evil, Krimson!
Krimson took Gory under his wing back in the year 2011. They created the Dead Wrestling Society, which was one of the most destructive and dominant groups in the history of professional wrestling in this part of the country. But when Gory formed the culmination and brought Krimson back as his spiritual father, it seemed that the student had out-eviled the teacher. Gory found out that Krimson, in his mind, in his eyes, wasn't good enough, wasn't evil enough, couldn't get the job done, and Gory blamed Krimson for the culmination shortcomings, excommunicated Krimson from the group, and has been avoiding Krimson ever since.
Representing the culmination!
And Remy LaVey is the individual that has been sent by Gory to be the roadblock for Krimson. Gory is not here tonight. And Remy now into the guardrail as Krimson attempted to use a fork on Remy LaVey during their matchup a couple of months ago, ended quickly out of disqualification.
You know, we saw what Krimson can bring in a match of this nature against Andrew Palace, but I'll tell you, there's something different about this. With Andrew Palace, it wasn't necessarily Krimson's fight. He was brought in by Gory to help that fight. In this situation, it's very different. Krimson has a vendetta. Krimson has something on the line. Krimson has something not only to prove to Remy LaVey in the culmination, but something to gain from this, and that does not bode well for Remy LaVey.
And keep in mind, Remy LaVey has shown his own violent side in the war with Andrew Palace once upon a time. It should be interesting to see in this matchup. There is no disqualifications, quite obviously. Anything goes in this environment. And Remy, into the timer's table.
We're going to have...
Oh, no.
As I said, we're going to have a quick start to... Oh, jeez.
Oh! I think I just busted the bell over a very sensitive region of Remy LaVey.
He busted the bell and the ringer along with it.
And Remy LaVey in a bad state at this time as Krimson looking for some toys.
And the best thing that everybody can do in this match is to stay out of harm's way. Oh, jeez.
The bottom of the trash can, the most reinforced part, right to the head of Remy LaVey, as Krimson is vowed, if he has to go through every member of the culmination on the way to Gory.
Well, Krimson, no stranger to creating a path, creating a goal, creating a violent streak, and just walking down it. And obviously, in this case, the end of that ultimate goal is Gory. But he's got a lot to get through if he wants to get there.
Oh, Krimson. Now he goes skull first into the bottom of that trash can. And there you see the intensity out of Remy LaVey, who is sent here programmed with a mission. Could you imagine having to go back to Gory and tell him you failed?
Well, that's not something that I would want to experience.
Wait a second. Like suplex on this heavy and reinforced ramp. Krimson trying to turn things around. Oh, no. Oh! That ramp is solid as solid comes. You've seen the size of some of these athletes it's had to support the weight of. Remy's body bounced off of that heavy, thick wood.
You know, an interesting thing here, you mentioned it earlier about Krimson being the father of evil to Gory, and in a sense, Remy LaVey, the son of evil to Gory, so it's almost as if Remy has sat under the learning tree of Krimson. You'd have to wonder, what does Remy know that Krimson doesn't?
Well, I'll tell you what, Krimson has been an absolute dominant force, Prime Wrestling champion, Tag Team champion. He was attempting to do that in Premier Championship Wrestling, but my question is, if Gory... Oh, look out! If Gory truly believes that he surpassed Krimson, why won't Gory fight Krimson one-on-one? Instead, it's 4-on-1 muggings and injuring the knee and hiding behind Remy. Krimson wasn't here for 3 months, thanks to Gory, thanks to Remy and the Cogers, thanks to the culmination. Where is Gory now?
Well, Joe, I would say that if Gory is not here in physical presence, you'd have to agree that he has eyes everywhere. One way or another, he knows exactly what is going on.
Remy with a chair to the spine. Gory will be here tomorrow for Welterweight Wrestling 2. He'll challenge Ace Perry for the Welterweight Championship. I can't imagine what will happen if Gory wins that championship to go with the Cobra Brothers tag titles. As Remy LaVey may be the guy to excommunicate Krimson from this area for good. If Gory has anything to say about it, as Krimson stomps the chair to the skull of Krimson, does Remy LaVey. But only a count of one. Check out Krimson, his determination to destroy what his creation created.
Which is a scary, scary thought. The student is taking out the teacher's teacher. Think about that for a second. Think about the evil that the culmination has brought upon Premier Championship Wrestling. More specifically, especially lately, Krimson.
Krimson counters.
I don't want to think about that pain.
Remy LaVey's offense. Oh my God! A brutal chair shot.
Joe, there may be no man here in Premier that can use a chair or any weapon like
Oh, no. A crutch broken across the nether regions.
Joe, you're not making a martini if you got 2 crushed olives and Remy LaVey, worse for wear right now, to say the least.
Just imagine what Krimson would do to Gory if he had an opportunity.
I don't even want to think about that sick, twisted scenario, although I'm sure Krimson is thinking about that. I'm sure every shot to Remy LaVey, every punch, every kick, every weapon that he uses, he sees Gory's face.
And Krimson has Remy prone in the corner. Springboard. Oh, Remy with an elbow. And down, oh, skull into the open chair. Krimson dazed. Could this be all? Can you imagine? What would that mean for the future of Krimson? If Remy LaVey ends Krimson's search and ends Krimson's pursuit right here tonight in this no disqualification matchup to headline Premier Championship Wrestling's Revengeance 2017. This is an all-out war.
Well, it would certainly end, I would say, or at least put a great halt to Krimson. Jeez.
Remy face first into the chair. Will this do it? No.
It would certainly put a major halt to Krimson in his goal of destroying the culmination one by one. Joe, let me ask you, picture Remy LaVey of a year ago or when you first met him. Would you see anything in this kind of environment, thriving in this kind of environment?
Not at all. Not this sick, sadistic, depraved individual we see today, Remy LaVey. You meet this guy who is so unassuming and soft-spoken and polite. But apparently he was gullible and easy to be manipulated, because now he's almost like the director of marketing for the culmination, almost like a street preacher in the way he spreads this doctrine, this dogma the culmination represents of destruct and destroy.
Interesting metaphor personification of the culmination, but you make a good point.
Drop toe hold at Krimson, face first into the steel. Will this be all? Shoulders down, 2-0.
Remy not one for displeasing the culmination, not one for taking the brunt of the effects of Krimson, so to speak. He's in a unique scenario right now because he's got to take it to Krimson. He's got to stick to it. But he's also got that message. He's also got, you'd have to imagine, his orders from Gory. This is one-on-one, but I'm sure him and Gory had a game plan going into this, a set of directions, if you will.
With that hard chair shot. Again, measuring, focusing on the spine. Oh, but Krimson's waiting. Remy has no idea. Now he does. But Krimson caught him on the rebound. And Remy collapses into his own sick concoction. Cover here. No.
It's a sick and twisted and just an extreme playground, if you will. And I don't want to say that Krimson is in having the time of his life, but he's certainly in his element. There's no doubt about that. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, look out. Oh! The chair into the trash can. into the skull of Remy.
Well, that'll put some ringing in your ears, no doubt about it.
And now it's Krimson with something sinister in mind. Again, as you mentioned earlier, no doubt looking at Remy, thinking of Gory, is the Dead Wrestling Society and what they caused superior to the culmination now? We may find out. Remy drops Krimson with a cutter. Oh, and Krimson's body violently bouncing off the steel. Will this be all? 2 count only.
And you'd have to think that counter right there, you got to credit Gory. I don't want to take anything away from Remy LaVey, but a lot of this new attitude that we've said, and a lot of him being able to hang in there with Krimson comes directly from Gory.
Without question. Without question. Remy has completely changed 180 degrees from when he stepped into Revengeance 2016 a year ago. Oh my God.
Well, Joe, I don't know what he's going for, but this could...
No!
Joe, that's got to be it.
Krimson's face planted into the 2 open chairs. Culmination's done this. No!
Look at the dent, just the edge of that chair being bent.
It is sinister and sadistic. But Remy will not finish until Krimson is down once and for all. The orders of Gory. Gory never wants to see Krimson in this organization again. And Krimson fighting his way free. Oh my God.
Yo, this is not going to be good.
Death Valley Driver! That chair is mangled underneath Remy LaVey at a near fall. One shoulder wasn't on the canvas, but it was resting on the chair. Judgment called by the official, and why the hell not? Anything goes.
Well, I don't think you want to question Krimson at this point, especially. Wait a minute.
These men do. Atticus and Otis Coger, with those masks around their neck, symbol of their past domination, are looking to add another victim, and it's 3-on-1 culmination on Krimson.
Well, Joe, you said it yourself. No disqualification. You may not like it, you may not love it, but that's a smart maneuver right there. We know Gory's not here, but you and I both know the Cogers are here and what they're capable of.
Without question. And again, you know who's pulling the strings from the shadows, whether he's physically present or not. And now Atticus, Otis, and Remy are looking to finish Krimson and make Gory happy.
Joe, when you go to a puppet show, you may not see the guy that's making everything happen, but you know he's there. And that's exactly what you have in this scenario.
These chairs are already mangled from the destruction we've seen so far.
Which do not bend. They're not meant for this type of punishment. They're not meant for this type of just sheer brutality that the Cogers and that Remy and that Krimson are bringing to you.
We have 2 chairs and a trash can, and that's still nowhere you want to be.
So you just heard him. This is for our leader, just what you and I talked about earlier.
Remy calling out Gory. This could be the end of Krimson. Wait a second! Here comes Sonny DeFarge with an uppercut at Cornelius Crumbles. And look at this stare down. Unfinished business from earlier tonight. DeFarge, where'd Crumbles go? I see him now. Crumbles coming in from behind. The Cogers are measuring DeFarge, but Crumbles with a kendo sticks.
Well, Joe, you knew that this is how we started the night with these 4 individuals. You knew this powder keg was going to explode
and
at
they're
any moment.
beating the hell out of the Coger brothers. There's some justice for earlier tonight. There's some justice for all year. The Cogers have this coming, and DeFarge and Crumbles may beat the Cogers all the way out to the parking lot.
And Joe, more importantly than anything else, this makes it once again one-on-one. The culmination has been nullified at this point.
Yeah, they're brawling out into the front hallway. We got to get that stopped. But we can't leave here because Remy and Krimson are still in a fight for their livelihoods.
And Joe, we are back to square one.
Krimson hasn't moved through all that. He's hurt. And now Remy LaVey is looking to finish what he and the Cogers had started just a moment ago, scaling to the top with Gory in mind. And Krimson to the top to cut Remy off with a pass.
Well, Joe, this is going to be maybe a quick fall and a bad landing for Remy LaVey and for Krimson for that matter.
Superplex. Oh my God, their bodies are twisted in the steel. Oh, both these men are hurt, but they're still fighting, and Krimson, maybe playing possum a moment ago, recovered in the carnage. Witch's Wheel! Krimson is one step closer to Gory.
Here is your winner, Krimson!
Embodiment of evil successful. The Koger brothers tried to end Krimson once and for all, 3-on-1. Defarge and Crummel's a distraction after what had happened at the top of the broadcast. That I only want to think about what Atticus wanted to do with that pickaxe. Thankfully, it was not out here at this point in time. Crummel's and Defarge didn't give Atticus a chance. Atticus and Otis chased off with those kendo sticks, and Krimson, still with one goal in mind, that's the evil he created. Could he be the one to destroy it as well, as Krimson wants some of Gory?
Well, obviously this win satisfactory for Krimson. That'll have to do for tonight. Gory not here. But you gotta wonder how much further down the line can we get from Krimson and Gory, because it's getting closer each and every time.
The collision, the culmination, if you will, of this war between Dead Wrestling Society and the culmination, maybe sooner than later, as Krimson claims another victim.